Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing Roja Diaghilev. This is the first Roja I've reviewed, and what a Roja to start off with. These retail, the bottles, the 100 milliliter bottles, I've just got a little sample right here. They retail for over $1,000. So, the pressure's on reviewing a $1,000 perfume. But it is really good. So, because the note list is gigantic, just go to, I'm going to tell you the notes I pick up. Please go to Fragrantica if you want the whole note list. I'm not spending an hour memorizing like the 30 notes in this. But I will tell you what I pick up. I pick up the oak moss, I pick up the civet, I pick up the peach, the rose, the patchouli, the musk. There's florals in there, black currant. So it's a floral fruity Chypre. A lot of things you would expect in a Chypre, but immensely high quality ingredients. And there's a lot of interesting florals and fruits that come in here. It's very green. It has kind of this garden. It on top of all the theatrics, it has the Baroque. I love that word. I love how he uses Baroque to describe it, but it is really going back in time. Anyways, but on top of what you'd expect in a Chypre, it also has just this immense, just boatload of ingredients and florals, citrics, different kinds of fruits, limes, lemons, everything. Just such a broad array of fruits and different kinds of musk. So at the top, when I first spray it on, it comes off immediately as animalic. That's not a bad thing. I'm saying this is the only animalic perfume that gets a love rating from me. I do love this. I cannot afford this. This is, maybe I'll get a 7.5 milliliter in the future, but this is what I can do for now. You know what I mean? It's so expensive. But you get that civet at the top, and civet is my least favorite animalic note. Sorry for that. But in this, it's so good. I mean, it's so good. And then with the oak moss, another challenging ingredient, but it's so good. It's just the quality is right there. And for a long time, I figured Roja was just kind of, it's marketing and things like that, expensive looking bottle, so we charge this much for it. The quality of the ingredients is there. I'm now a believer. I'm now convinced of the quality of this brand. It's real. But I'm priced out of something like this. But if I had the money, absolutely. It smells, it's like getting in a time machine and just going back hundreds of years and smelling this. Like it's like this is what people will wear to operas. This is just opulent, just upper class elite. It's not that loud. People have said that this is a bombastic, loud fragrance. I've noticed it's not, at least not on my skin. My skin is clean and moisturized. I always do that to give the fragrance a fair run. It lasts a while, and it dries down nicely, but it doesn't project very far. But something interesting that does happen with this fragrance is the more you move, the more animated you are with it, the more it really wafts and spreads and comes alive. And I know that may sound obvious, just like, of course, moving and waving it around would project it, but not like this. This is a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. If you're just sitting still, it's not really going anywhere, whereas other fragrances can really just project no matter what you're doing. But with this, it just magnifies it when you just move around, and then you really start catching wafts and noticing it. And I haven't noticed that in other fragrance, so it was noteworthy to me at least. You have that rose and patchouli in there. You get the rose, you get the cumin, the leather. There's Roja DNA in this, absolutely. So it's kind of something that, is inspired by tradition, but given a modern twist and given his own DNA twist. I've smelled a couple other Rojas from the samples I have, and there is kind of this DNA, this cumin rose leather that kind of wires its way through a lot of his fragrances. Not all of them, but it seems to exist in a lot of them. I looked at the notes list of a lot of others. So in my mind, this has his DNA, but there's just so much to it. It's just blowing my mind smelling it. This is really one of those that it's really hard to take my nose from it. I think it's too mature for me. I think I need about 10 more years on the meter before I can really wear this and it looks congruent. Like if I was just wearing this out to kind of the younger places I go and everything, it would look out of place among all the Sauvage and 1 Million and all that. But and this deserves this deserves the treatment of going somewhere nice and everything. This is something you wear on a special occasion. You don't just wear this all the time. Well, you could if you have the money. But this, maybe in the future I'd get the 7.5 milliliter and just save it. Save it for those special times because it is something I'm enjoying. And I don't typically enjoy these very mature perfumes like this, but it's super. I would say it leans feminine. A male could easily wear this, but I'd say it does kind of go feminine. And some people say, oh, it has this old grandma smell. Oh, it smells like old people. And I get where you're coming from because this is meant to smell vintage. That's its inspiration, is to go back in time. But that doesn't mean it just screams old people. This is just something that's inspired. And I'm not like doing this like Roja cope defending the fragrance. But it's you can easily tell that this is inspired to be something from long ago. And as it dries down, it gets a little soapier. It gets a little more animalic. But it's still not animalic enough to put me off. I'm still hanging on to it. So it has that greenness in the beginning. The green subsides. Like it's like this like bell curve, because when you first spray it on, you're getting that oak moss and the kind of the civet and the other floral stuff. And then there's like this peak that happens where you just get this surge of greenness. And then the greenness kind of tapers back off. And you have what was there in the beginning at the end. But you're getting the sweetness kind of dies off as it goes, and you just kind of get more of that base, that oak moss animalic base, but you have the spices and everything giving it that base with the rose and the patchouli comes out. You still have that leather cumin DNA at the base. I don't know, I say like base, but that's just to emphasize it, I guess. Absolutely great fragrance. It's really cool. It's super cool. One day when maybe I'm a little older, one day when I have maybe a little more money, we'll see. Or I just go buy the 7.5 mil and just eat it with my wallet. We'll see. For any Roja fans, you got it. This is one you have to try. I mean, from what I understand, the Roja brand, you got to try it. At some point, you have to. And for any Chypre fans, I know, a lot of the people I associate with, they really like Chypre Palatine. And that's a really good one too. I would say this is better, but you would expect that for that much more money. Chypre Palatine is great value. It's a great fragrance. I'd say this is the best one I've ever smelled. However, I can't afford a bottle, so that's just what we're going with. And sorry, my nose is running. I get like a little allergic from it. The notes are like so authentic. The florals are so authentic, it almost makes my nose run a little. And I'm allergic to a lot. What a hobby to be in when you're allergic to everything. But that's just where I'm at. Really great. Glad I sampled it. So I decided to make this a giveaway. If you want to enter, go ahead, comment, like, subscribe. You're getting a decan. It's got 1.5 milliliters. Domestic America only, please. I'm sorry, international friends. It's just a little expensive to send it out that way. We're still growing. In about a week or so, I'll message you on your comments saying, hey, you won. Go ahead and email me at my email address, and we'll just get it arranged, getting it sent to you. No charge on your part. I'll ship it to you for free. So just go ahead, enter, and maybe we'll do more giveaways in the future. Thanks, everyone.